fact that a statue of Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States and founder of the Republican Party, stands here in Parliament Square in London is a testament to the closeness of the special relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom. But the current President of the United States, Donald Trump, is actually very unpopular according to opinion polls here in Britain, and there are likely to be large anti-Trump demonstrations in London when the President visits.
The timing of Trump's state visit to Britain is particularly ironic and accidental. 3 years ago, during his campaign when Brexit happened, Trump immediately dubbed himself Mr. Brexit, and Trump political circles see the Brexit referendum as a kind of forerunner of Trump's election later that year in 2016. So Brexit is something very close to Trump's vision of himself, and he's lost no opportunity during Theresa May's prime ministership to undercut her as having betrayed the values of the Brexit referendum.
Theresa May's resignation as Conservative leader has added an extra layer of peculiarity to this visit by Mr. Trump, because in just a few weeks' time, the Prime Minister will be leaving this building, 10 Downing Street, for the last time. So she has almost no authority, and that will make any diplomatic discussions with the United States President basically pointless. Mrs. May also struggle to summon up the warm smiles that are meant to be de rigueur on these kinds of occasions.
He's also lost no opportunity to boost the chances of Boris Johnson. When he was last in Britain, not for a state visit, about a year ago, he said Boris would make a great Prime Minister, and Theresa May's deal would foreclose any prospects of a US-UK trade deal. His other sort of great friend and ally in British politics is Nigel Farage, who is often to be found dining with Trump or Trump acolytes at the Trump Hotel in the old post office, just a few blocks from the White House. Farage is a great rival of Boris Johnson, so how Trump parcels out his praise and commendations between Johnson and Farage is going to be another wheel within a wheel that could be of great interest on this state visit.
Although friendly relations have been maintained on the surface, the Trump administration has actually been a period of great strain in the US-UK special relationship. And that's because the Trump administration's America First policies have questioned the underpinning of the world order, particularly on multilateralism, and opened up a range of divisions with Britain on questions such as the Paris Climate Accord, the Iran nuclear accord, and the Middle East peace process. Collectively, there's a broader disagreement about the role of international law and multilateral organizations.
That's the high politics and intrigue of Trump's visit, but there is also the visuals, something that matters hugely to Trump. How he's treated, what kind of ceremonies are going to be surrounding his visit. How many people get invited to the state banquet? Was it more than the last president to be given a state dinner, Barack Obama? Does he get more cannon salutes? The sort of dignified side of this visit and the televisual element to it is something of huge importance to Trump and always has been.
Perhaps the biggest emerging division between the US and the UK, however, concerns relations with China. The British are still dreaming of a golden era in Chinese-UK economic relations after Brexit. But the Americans are moving swiftly towards an all-engaging trade war with the Chinese. And they're putting pressure on Britain over relations with the Chinese telecoms firm Huawei. America's effectively imposed a boycott on Huawei. The British, by contrast, are still talking of allowing Huawei to participate in the creation of a 5G network in Britain. And the Americans are hinting that that poses an unacceptable risk because the US and the UK are very close partners on intelligence sharing. So potentially China could get in the way of the special relationship between the United States and the United Kingdom.
He's bringing all of his grown-up children. The only one left behind is Barron, a 13-year-old son, but all the others, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric and Tiffany, are going to be coming along with him. He's going to be rubbing shoulders with the likes of Prince William, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, who, although I don't know her political views, I can imagine is not Trump's biggest fan. So that side of Trump's visit just the scope for tabloid stories and Trump's great obsession with visuals and with how well he's being treated and hosted and how many gun salutes he gets. That side of it should not be overlooked, because Trump himself will probably care as much, if not more, about that than the Brexit high politics.
The last big question is how Britain's current political turmoil will affect the special relationship. If, as currently seems likely, the next Prime Minister of Britain is either Boris Johnson or another Tory who pursues a hard no-deal Brexit with the EU, then Britain will have a rupture with the European Union and will probably then pursue a free trade agreement with the United States with even more urgency. And that would lead to a much closer alignment between the Trump administration and a hard Brexit Tory government. However, it's also possible, thinking a bit further ahead, that there would then be a general election, which could lead to Jeremy Corbyn, the Labour leader, becoming Prime Minister. He's long been very hostile to American foreign policy, and a Corbyn-led British government would suddenly bring into question many of the subjects that are right at the heart of the special relationship, such as cooperation on nuclear weapons, cooperation on intelligence sharing, even British membership of NATO. And that could spell the death knell for the special relationship.